The UK has made the hugest mistake in history. As we all know, yesterday there was a major announcement on the indefinite leave to remain. We all know that for months on end, they've been talking about so many changes in the UK. And one of the changes which they wanted to bring about is the increase of indefinite leave to remain. And yesterday, they made some proposals. So today's video or today's live is very important if you are a migrant here in UK and you are under the health and care worker visa, because there are so many complications which come with the announcement which they did yesterday. So yesterday they announced that they want to increase the indefinite leave to remain. There are different categories, and I'm going to speak particularly on the healthcare assistance, because from what they announced yesterday, it basically means that by 2028, all the healthcare assistants who are in the UK who came after 2023 will need to be deported back to their countries, because they have proposed that they want indefinite leave to remain for healthcare assistance to be 15 years. So is that practical or not? In this video, this is what I'm going to be covering, indicating to you that the UK is going to make the biggest mistake in history, because proposing 15-year ILR for healthcare assistance is not practical, and here is why. So before I dive into the video, let me know if you can hear me. Say good morning if you can hear me, then we can dive into the video. Can you hear me? Hello, Charity. If you can hear me, please say yes. I have not done a live in a long time, and probably I've lost the drift of it. Oh yes, you can hear me. So guys, I'll dive straight into the video because I'm coming from work and I need to go and sleep. So what happened is, if you remember very well, recruitment for healthcare assistants stopped in July 2025. And when the recruitment of healthcare assistants stopped in July 2025, the UK government laid down some rules for healthcare assistants. And the rules were: one, they are no longer going to be recruiting any healthcare assistants from overseas. So which means the health and care visa route was closed for people who are overseas. Two, if you are in UK, you are able to extend your visa, or you are able to switch visas up to a certain particular date, which is a July 22, 2028. So what does that mean? First of all, let us look at the statistics of healthcare assistants who came to UK during the period of 2023 to 2025. Why am I saying during that period? Is because yesterday when they announced, they said the new visa rules, or the new indefinite leave to remain rules which they want to implement, will affect everyone who came through the health and care worker visa from 2021 going forward. So why am I focusing on 2023 and 2024? Is because for you to get your indefinite leave to remain, if you came in 2024, if it's 5 years, it has to be 2029. And then how many people came in? Over 170,000 people and their dependents came in through the health and care worker visa. So which means by 2028 July, you would need about 170,000 people who are under the health and care worker visa, together with their dependents, to be able to what? To get indefinite leave to remain. If they're not able to get indefinite leave to remain by 2028, the rules which have been put down are that: one, the visa cannot be extended. Two, you cannot switch after 2028, which means if your visa expires in 2028 and they don't renew your visa, what is going to happen to you? That's one question. Two, what is going to happen to your dependents, because your dependents depend on your visa? If they say the eligibility criteria for you to get indefinite leave to remain, you need 15 years. After 5 years, when your visa cannot be renewed in 2028, when your visa cannot be extended in 2028, what is going to happen to all the healthcare assistants who came to UK from 2023 going forward. Because we know that the whole issue is there was massive net migration in those 2 years, and over 170,000 people came. So what is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to the 170,000 people? If you cannot extend your visa, the UK government gives you 60 days to either find employment, of which you will not be able to find employment because one, the companies are not allowed to, one, there is no health and care worker visa route anymore. Two, companies are no longer allowed to sponsor you. You're no longer allowed to have a COS via any company. You're no longer allowed to switch. You cannot extend your visa. So what happens? So do you see that even if they are proposing this 15-year visa route, it's not going to be practical, because it simply means if they cannot extend the visas for all the healthcare assistants, if you are a healthcare assistant and you still don't have indefinite leave to remain and they are going to be affected by this, it means you and your dependents, come 2028, you have to pack yours and go back home because there's no more job for you. So is it going to be practical that come that certain period of time, because they have proposed 15 years and they implement the 15 years, come that period of time, is it going to be possible for them to take 170,000 people and say, we are deporting you because you no longer have jobs, we're not going to renew your visa? Is that possible, guys, if you are looking at it? Obviously, it's not going to be possible. So what it basically means is, personally, I don't think this is going to work. You let me know what your opinion is, because personally, I don't think this is going to work. It's not going to be practical to have over 170,000 people leaving the healthcare sector. To make matters worse, the UK is simple chasing people away from this country. Nurses are going to be fed up. The healthcare assistants are going to be fed up. The teachers, let me not say they are going to be fed up. They are already fed up. And if you're looking at other countries, the UK is not the only place with greener pastures. Actually, UK no longer has greener pastures. It actually has amber pastures because it's no longer as lucrative. The grass is not greener here in the United Kingdom. That is the reality on the ground. Even the British people themselves, I'm going to do a video on that, where you're going to hear the British people themselves saying they cannot cope with the cost of living in the United Kingdom. So it's not like the United Kingdom is the bread and basket of the whole of Europe or all the other countries in the whole world. It is just like it's just but another country, which means if they don't want migrants, other countries, Australia is busy looking for nurses. New Zealand is busy looking for healthcare assistants. Ireland is busy looking for healthcare assistants. So at the end of the day, this thing which they are proposing is going to be disastrous to the United Kingdom, because people will choose to pack their bags and go home. Then we have a lot of people crying that, oh, indefinite leave to remain, this and that. When you left your country, the honest truth is, when you left your country, you did not leave your country chasing indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom. You left your country to come and work and obviously make a few cents. The thing is, people are crying, oh, indefinite leave to remain, this and that. No one is chased away from their country. Not that I am saying that, oh, go back to your country. But the thing is, it's not like you were chased away from your countries. If push comes to shove, even if you go back to your country, even if I'm to go back to my country today, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. Why? Because people in my country, it's not like they're not surviving. You understand? There are people who are living better lives than I am here in the United Kingdom. There are people who are living better lives than you are living your lives here in the United Kingdom. And this life of being stressed every day, it's not life, because that stress, it destroys you as an individual. It's not healthy for you to be stressed on a daily basis. You understand? It's not healthy. But if you look at people in your country, look at people in Nigeria, look at people in South Africa, look at people in Ghana, look at people in Zimbabwe. It's not like they are not living, they are living. You understand? So we don't want to act as if being here in the United Kingdom is a crime. Or just because you're here in the United Kingdom, you can no longer go back to your country. You understand? Even if things are not okay in your country, the United Kingdom is actually giving you some time. You understand? It's giving you some time that, oh, between now and 2028, there's a possibility that the health and chemical visa is going to come to an end. So instead of you crying, because the thing is, no matter how much you cry, it is not going to change anything. No matter how much you cry, if they want to end the visa route and say go home, it's not going to change anything. So instead of crying, you look at what you can do, because there is always light at the end of the channel. That's when you should be re-strategizing. That's when you should be planning your future starting from today. Not to be sitting, waiting to see what is the government going to say tomorrow, whatever they are going to say today or tomorrow or whenever. You have to make a plan. If you have been chowing money, eating money every day, it's time to strategize and tell yourself, okay, if I'm living in a 2-bedroom house, I'm a single person, do I really need a 2-bedroom house? Maybe it's time that I change. If I'm paying £1,000, let me change and maybe move to an accommodation where I'm going to be paying £700 because I'm just one person. Better still, let me go and be a lodger. You can lodger, like you can come and be my lodger here, and you are staying in one of the rooms there. Let me be a lodger, and instead of paying that £1,000 that I'm paying in my 1-bedroom apartment, let me be paying 500, and then save that other 500, because we don't know what the future holds. You see, so if you have strategized and you're now saving that extra 500, after 3 years of saving that extra 500, because the UK is not predictable, in case they say pack yours and go, you have saved money. You understand? You have saved a substantial amount of money. Even if they say go back to your country, if you've got your £10,000, if you've got your £15,000, if you've got your £20,000, you are not chased from your country. That £20,000 can actually start a business for you and start a booming business for you. If you're not aware, a lot of people are leaving the United Kingdom. For example, they're heading to Zimbabwe. British people are leaving the United Kingdom. They're going to Zimbabwe, and they are posting videos on Instagram. They're saying, we didn't know that life is so great here in Zimbabwe. Things are this cheap, things are that cheap. So if you have a viable business, doesn't matter where you are, don't need to be in UK for you to be successful in life. If you've got a viable business, people have got viable businesses. Those who started strategizing when they started talking, oh, net migration, blah, 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 are your friends not building in Zimbabwe? They are building. Are your friends not getting stands? Are your friends not making businesses? Are your friends not shipping things to Zimbabwe? Are they not shipping things to South Africa, Nigeria? I am seeing it every day. We are shipping to Nigeria. We are shipping to Zimbabwe. We are shipping to South Africa. It's because people are preparing a future for themselves. So instead of crying, crying does not help you in any way. Strategize. Start looking at your life overall and tell yourself, okay, is this kind of life that I'm living worth it? Before you spend that pound that you want to spend in the store, or it's £2 or it's £5, before you buy that takeaway, is it really worth it to buy takeaway for £35? Because an average meal at a restaurant is like £35. Is it worth it to spend that £35 when the UK is not promising us? The future is bleak. We don't know what is going to be like after 3 years. You understand? So instead of taking that £35 and spending it in a restaurant, why not use £5 and take that £30 and save it in an account which is called the rainy day account, because we don't know where this is going, right? So let me just check your messages so far. There is huge staff shortage in the healthcare sector already. This is Florence. Florence, Saying there's huge shortage is actually an understatement. I work in the healthcare sector and I work with healthcare assistants. And what pains me the most is that UK wants to trivialize healthcare assistants as if they are nothing. Or they say, oh, the law, like they don't have much qualifications. Healthcare assistants, as somebody who works in the healthcare sector, healthcare assistants are very important. If I'm going on shift myself, healthcare assistants are very important in my shift. I cannot function without a healthcare assistant. Nurses cannot function. A care home cannot function without healthcare assistants. And you see that when you are starting shift, it's one nurse, there are four healthcare assistants. And they are the ones, the nurses who give medication, do care plans, and the healthcare assistants are the ones who are doing most of the job, assisting with feeding, assisting with mobility, assisting. I saw the importance of healthcare assistants a few days ago when I was at work. And one, because there's critical shortage of staff, I didn't have a healthcare assistant. And one healthcare assistant was supposed to be shifting between two units. So which means now that healthcare assistant has gone to the other unit, and now I am left by myself in a whole unit. And I'm in a dementia unit. Being left alone in a dementia unit, you know how dementia units behave. They don't know what they are doing. This one is pulling that one, the other one is high risk of falls, the other you're trying to run around. That's when you see that without a healthcare assistant I cannot function. Like by the time the shift ended, I was flustered because care workers are so important. But UK keeps on saying, oh, care workers this 15 years, oh, we're making 5 years. Yet these are very people who are taking care of your relatives that you don't want to take care of at home. Yet the healthcare assistants, nobody actually said at my home, I'm going to UK. It's the UK which called you from your country and said, we need healthcare workers. Now it feels as if it's modern day slavery. I posted a shot earlier on, it was so heartbreaking, of a woman who came here in 2021 and she couldn't bring her children. If you look at the shots, she couldn't bring her children. She appealed, and it's been more than a year and a half. She couldn't bring her children. She still doesn't have her children. And the UK is still reviewing her case for 1.5 years. So basically, they are saying, we want you to come and work for us. As from March last year, you cannot bring in your dependents because you don't deserve to be in a loving family. All you are supposed to be doing is to be taking care of us, whether your mental health is stable, whether you are happy, whether you are sick, whether you are, we don't care as long as you are doing what we want, taking care of our elderly. What goes on in your life, we don't care. But is that fair? What happened to human rights? Because having your family is a basic human right. Australia needs 85,000 nurses. Huge shortage creates urgent opportunities for UK nurses. And let me tell you what is going to happen. It's not only Australia which needs nurses. America needs nurses. New Zealand needs nurses. Luxembourg needs nurses. Ireland needs nurses. Most of the countries need nurses. And this United Kingdom, which is making life very difficult for migrants, is going to lose all those nurses, because an article came out yesterday or the day before yesterday stating that the UK is set to lose about 50,000 nurses due to these harsh immigration policies, or these harsh immigration policies which they want to implement. So people, as I speak, there are groups of nurses who are preparing to go to New Zealand. There are groups of nurses who are preparing to go to America. There are groups of nurses who are preparing to go to New Zealand. And there is going to be a massive exodus of nurses to all the other countries. And then UK will realize the importance of all those migrants that they are, I'm sorry to say, but in my opinion, they're being ill-treated. You understand? In my opinion, it feels like modern day slavery. You know, the shortage that we have of care workers, it's really something else. Then it's just a reminder that it's time to move. And I do agree with that, guys. It's just a reminder that it is time to move. People who come to me and say, oh, you're saying it's time to move. Why are you not moving? Our circumstances are not all the same. Understand? My circumstances and your circumstances are different. You understand? Because I see most of the time post on Facebook, people, they come, they bite you, they want to attack. They say, oh, if UK is that difficult, why are you not leaving? My circumstances are different from your circumstances. My age and your age is different. I am 40 years old, you could be 24 years old. And if you're 24 years old, if you're 28 years old, you still have a whole life ahead of you. You understand? I've got a child who's in university. I've got a child who is in. So I'm looking at my circumstances. If I could leave, I can go to Australia, I can go to America, I can go to any other place that I want. But at the present moment, I have to look at my circumstances. I've got children. I have to consider them. Oh, that one is in university. I cannot uproot. I cannot uproot this one who has started Form 1. I cannot uproot this one who has started university. But look at your circumstances. You are here. You are 24 years old. And there are so many countries which are calling you. America, Australia. What is stopping you? You understand? I'll look at myself and say, oh, maybe Australia will say, since you're 40, or they'll consider. If you are young, why are you subjecting yourself to torture as if UK is the only place with greener pastures? It has amber pastures anyway. It doesn't have greener pastures. You understand? So that torture, crying, I will repeat that statement and I will repeat it again. Crying, talking all over social media, doing that and what is not going to help anyone in any way. But looking for an exit strategy, if there's an exit strategy, because you can always look and see what is going to be viable. Because if others are making it in Zimbabwe, if others are making it in South Africa, if others are making it in Nigeria, if others who are here in UK are channeling their funds into Zimbabwe, into whatever projects, because I see a lot of people, cows, whatever, different businesses, look for a viable business which is going to be able to sustain you. After all, if you look at some health care assistants who moved to the United Kingdom, I've had people come to me and say, you know what, Pauline, I think when I was in South Africa, I was living better than the way I am living here in the United Kingdom. I think when I was in Zimbabwe, I was living better than the way I was in the United Kingdom. Personally, I say in Zimbabwe, I had peace of mind. In Zimbabwe, I was never threatened. Every day here, I'm walking on eggshells. Hey, NMC, hey, your pin. Hey, in Zimbabwe, when I knock off, even if I was to walk home, I'm walking home with peace of mind because I know I'm not going to receive an email which is going to be telling me that safeguarding this, safeguarding that. How did you handle this one? What about that bruise or that medication? Never in my lifetime of working as a nurse in Bilo Central Hospital, where I worked forever, over 15 years, was I ever called to say, oh, there was a bruise, oh, that medication, oh, there was. But here you're constantly walking on eggshells. Here you're constantly stressed. Here I can't come here at home and sleep peacefully. I have to think, what did I do yesterday on night shift? Oh, what about that one? It's not an easy life, you understand? So the peace of mind, I always say peace of mind is everything. Personally, for me, peace of mind is everything. The peace of mind which I had in my country is priceless. Priceless, understand? So look at your circumstances and decide. I love you so much, Popo. You always down to earth when you explain things. Thank you so much, Afro Genius. I felt so insulted yesterday when the Home Secretary was giving that address. The UK is trying to scam us. I also felt so insulted on behalf of the hardworking care assistants who are here in the United Kingdom. Guys, care assistants are hardworking. Me, where I work, in the care homes that I work with care assistants who are so much hardworking. Imagine coming on shift and there are only 2 care assistants on the floor, 34 residents, and 1 nurse. The nurse is busy giving medication, and the care assistants are expected to go and prepare tea for the residents, go and make food for those residents, come and feed one by one, and be patient with the elderly people to make sure that they are feeding them. After feeding them, they have to go start changing their pets. They're cleaning poo, they're cleaning what? After that, they're putting them to bed. After that, they've got so many books to write. And then we come and trivialize them as if they are nothing. Yet they are the backbone of care homes. Take out care assistants in care homes won't function, because a care home cannot function with just a nurse. A nurse cannot give medication and be able to feed that for residents and assisting, putting them to bed and all that. The care assistants are very important, and one day they will see the value of the care assistants. In my language they say, if you hear the drums beating louder, they're about to burst, and once they burst, they will regret it. Yeah. And then Anne says you have to weigh your options. Exactly, and I totally agree with you. You have to weigh your options. There is no way you can say there are no options. You weigh. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. When that saying came, where they say, if one door closes, another door always opens with greater opportunities. Personally, when I started trying to migrate to overseas, I did not start with the United Kingdom. United Kingdom was not even one of the countries that I considered. That's a fact. I started by trying Australia, and then I tried America, then I tried the Republic of Ireland. And those doors were closing for me. Australia, it closed for me because it was expensive. It's still expensive. That's why people are not opting to go to Australia, because to get visas for Australia is still very expensive. You understand? If you opt for America, when I say weigh your options, you are weighing between Australia and America. Australia will want you to pay ridiculous amounts of money for visas and whatnot and whatnot. Yet it is not better paying than America. On the other hand, America will pay for your visas, including your whole family and everything, and you go there with a green card. So when you're weighing your options, you're saying, okay, where can I go? Can I go to America? Can I go to... And care workers are actually getting jobs in America. They are getting jobs in America as we speak today. I know family members who have gotten jobs in America as healthcare assistants. You understand? So you don't have these blinkers to be constantly crying, oh, UK, this, UK. Start weighing your options. Start weighing your options. Start seeing, what can I do? Can I go to Ireland? There are a lot of people who have moved from the United Kingdom. I facilitated people to move from the United Kingdom to the Republic of Ireland. Those who had where they tell them that the COS has been revoked, blah blah blah. There was a company which reached out and said, oh, they were reaching out to me thinking that I needed a job. And then I said, oh, we need care assistants and so forth. I arranged care assistants from UK, and they moved from the United Kingdom to the Republic of Ireland. That is not putting your eggs in one basket. You understand? Don't cry and have sleepless nights. Start strategizing and planning and see, what am I going to do in 3 years from now? I've already told you that you look at simple things like, okay, where I'm living, is it worth it? Why should I be living in a 2-bedroom house or 3-bedroom house by myself? Will it kill me to go and live in that 1-bedroom? No, it won't kill you, because what you need is just a roof over your head. Look at where you're shopping. Is it worth it for you to go and shop in M&S when strawberries are strawberries? Strawberries in M&S are £5. Strawberries in Lidl, same strawberries, are £2. So you have to start strategizing and see how you can save your money, and that money, you use it to start a business. If you are with me so far, please smash that like button. Smash that like button if you are with me so far. I'm exhausted and tired of UK ups and downs, and this is modern day slavery. It is exhausting. Even me, see, I've not been posting videos because I'm so exhausted with news every single day, which it's as if us migrants are worthless piece of trash. That's how it makes one feel. Like it feels like you are just that worthless piece of trash that needs to be stamped on every single day. You know, yet the role that we play is so significant. I always say, if you take a magnifying glass, a what you call that? What's that thing which well, if it sticks, you know that thing which sticks to metal, what is it called? I forget what it's called, which is going to pick up all the migrant workers in hospitals, in care homes. Basically, there is one care home that I work in. I'm telling you that if there are 50 staff, 40 of them are from overseas. So you take that magnet, it's called the magnet. You take that magnet and you take out all the migrants, the UK healthcare system will collapse. So what they announced yesterday, that they want a healthcare workers to have 15 years indefinite leave to remain. They are basically saying, we want to make the worst mistake that we've ever made in our lives. We want the UK healthcare system to collapse. Because what we are basically saying is, come 2028, because we don't want to extend the health and care worker visa, because we don't want to hire from overseas, because we don't want you to switch. Which means if you can't renew your visa, come 2028, the 170,000 people who came in between 2023 and 2024 have to pack theirs and go. And those are the backbones of care homes. Those are the backbones of domiciliary care. Those are the backbones. So that is basically the worst mistake that UK can ever make. Literally applying for the collapse of the healthcare system. I just saw an article not so long ago, just this morning, somebody saying, oh, we will get our highly skilled trained nurses from UK who can actually speak in English. Do you know that the most of the time the people who ring in off sick are locals from here, United Kingdom? They'll ring in off sick because they are not on a visa sponsorship. They will jump from job to job. The fact that you even hired from overseas, it simply shows that you didn't have your own people to do the job. So do you think that chasing away care workers from UK will magically create people who are willing to work as carers here in the United Kingdom? No. You failed to magically create them for years. That's why you had to extend and open your borders for all of us from overseas to come in. Now you bring us in, we're now doing the job, you complain again. What is it that you want us to do? I want you. Oh no, I don't want you. What kind, even if you are in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, that's what we call a toxic relationship. And most of the time, if the relationship is toxic, the best thing to do is to leave that toxicity. Period. The word she used made me feel useless. I feel it. Great advice, Popo. I came in 2022 as a care assistant. Have built a house in Zim. No saving to go home. Come 2028, home is best. She has said it, Sihiem Locha. That's why I'm also saying it. Did you hear what she said? She said she came to UK in 2022, and she's not the only one. And when she came to UK in 2022, she realized that left, right, and center, every day they are raining, either they are raining insults, they are raining new rules, they are making life difficult. And she said, you know what? I was not chased where I come from. So, because I'm here in UK, they haven't said we are going to stop paying you them British pounds. You understand? They didn't say that. You are continuing to get your salary. So if you strategize like Sihle and get that salary and save and stop living la vida loca, like because some of us we live for sure. We want people there in Nigeria, there in South Africa, there in Ghana to see me so that I am living the life in UK. Don't need to impress anyone, because when you left your country, you did not leave your country to come here and impress anyone back home. No, we are not impressing anyone. It is your life. If you are going to be eating cabbage every day, as long as this, you see, like when we're doing a weight loss journey, I used to say to people in my WhatsApp, my weight loss WhatsApp group, I would say let us eat protein, like high protein diet. Then I will say, if you are eating your high protein diet, the body does not know that you have eaten inchwa, like caterpillars, or you've eaten chicken, or you've eaten prawns, or you've eaten sushi, or you've eaten, I don't know what those fish eggs are called, which are so expensive. The body does not know that. The body knows that you are eating a protein. That's it. You see, the body doesn't say, oh, today you're eating maguru, while that one is eating prawns. No. Live within your means. Actually, now it's not time to live within your means. Now it's time to live under your means. See that thing that we used to do back in our countries, where you count the pieces of meat, 1, 2, 3 pieces of meat. You pick 3 pieces of meat. You would have appeased your taste buds, and you would have tasted meat. It is now that time period where instead of eating that 5-pound steak, you divide it into 2, divide it into 3. You let it stretch you for 3 days, and you save the rest of your money, because we don't know where this is going. And be like, Sihle, and build your house back there. As it is, if she has built her house back there, if she's not living in a house, you know what she's doing to the house? She'll put people to rent in her accommodation. And if she puts people to rent in her accommodation, she's getting money in UK, and she's also getting money in her rented accommodation. If they say leave, she's got a house waiting for her in her country. She's not going to start from ground zero. She is going to start from her house, and she's going to take that money that she's been getting from the lodgers and start her small business. Businesses are viable in all these countries, whether it's Nigeria, whether Ghana, Zimbabwe, South Africa. There is always a viable business. But if you sit and wait for the time to come and not make plan B or make plan C, or you will be like those people a few years ago who were deported from UK, and they went to their countries carrying a towel. They were carrying towels on their backs because that's all they had, towels. So you be deported and you go back to your country carrying a towel. So start making plans. Do you have any questions? Yes, Magnet. Thank you, Tuli, saying I'm looking great. Because of lack of good sleep, I almost slipped into borderline diabetes. After all the sacrifices, coupled with tightening restrictions, thinking after 5 years I can finally enjoy peace. I do understand, Afro-genius. You understand? I'm one of those people who I work like a slave. You understand? I work like a slave because I told myself that I'm a single mother. You understand? And being a single mother, yes, I do get a little help from the children, but it's a little help. You understand? So it means, as an individual, I have to tell myself that if it were by me, I'll be happy enough working 3 shifts. But there are times when I work 4, 5, 6, and at times I work 7 shifts. And it's not healthy. There was a time I fell ill because I'm trying to make ends meet here. And when I was ill, I discovered that it was burnout. You have this never-ending headache because you are subjected to, so much torture. Your health is at stake and all that. So you have to think. My mother was speaking to me yesterday, and this is the very thing that she was saying to me, that, Pauline, you have to strategize. Were you suffering when you were in Zimbabwe? And to be quite honest, I wasn't suffering that much when I was in Zimbabwe. Because remember earlier on I said our circumstances are different. The main reason that made me come to the UK is my children. Understand? Because I wanted better prospects for my children. I had a car, I had a house, I had a good job. I was a nursing tutor there, and my children were fresh and healthy. I was big and round. I was eating healthy. I didn't suffer much. But then you say, I'm leaving, let me go and try life for my children. But you discover that when you are here, guys, forgive me, I talk too much, that's me. You discover that when you are here, you have brought your children here. It's not only you who is miserable. If you came here with your children are miserable. My daughter struggles up to date. She started Form 1, right? Form 1 recently. It's year 8. She started Form 1. And in that Form 1, there are 6 classes. And in those 6 classes in Form 1, she's the only black child. I'm sure you have seen, people have asked me, why is your daughter wearing wigs, Papa? Why is your daughter wearing wigs? I just leave her to wear wigs because she wants to fit in. She feels every week there isn't a week where she doesn't come and ask, oh, mommy, what about my hair? Oh, why is it that I'm the only one in class who doesn't have hair? Until I say, child, wear a wig like your mother and go to school so that she feels as if she fits in. My son, just I've got this tendency. I sit with them and ask them how was school. So just a couple of weeks ago, I was asking him that how was it in secondary school? She said, Mom, I'll be honest with you. Do you remember that I had 41% attendance and you were shocked? He had 41% attendance, 41%. He was not going to school. Why? Because I felt so isolated. I was the only. He said he had never seen white people in his life, and then it was a shock for him to go there and be the only black child in class, and be the only black child in school, and be the only person that they start quizzing about this. Do you have water in your country? Do you sleep on trees? So where did you learn? Were you learning under a tree? It's traumatic, not for you alone, but it's traumatic for the children as well. So children, they've got no life. They've got no friends. They don't pay. They can't play in the streets. They go to school. They feel socially isolated there in school because they can't fit in. You have a child who is 12 years old and now is wearing a wig to school so that they fit in. So it's not you alone who suffers. Even your children will suffer. Now, culture shock for the children. You don't know, now that they're in UK, what am I supposed to teach them? You try to teach them your African culture, it doesn't apply in UK. Here they un-Africanize you. What applies to your country does not apply here. 12-year-olds, they now start, oh, Mom, do you know I've got a crush on this guy? Like, WTF is a crush. In my country, don't talk of such things. But now you have to accept that, oh, no. But even if I say, no, don't talk of such things, this is the lingo that is being spoken of at school. You understand? So, a lot of things happen. So, to be overseas, it's simple survival of the fittest and the toughest. If you are not fit and tough, you will crumble. You fall into depression. I personally have fell into depression. And when I was out of depression, that's when I realized that, you know what? During that time period, I was actually depressed. I was depressed because at times, as it is, I'm talking to you guys, I've come from work. My neighbors, I don't even know my neighbors. I've got nobody to talk to. It's the four walls of the house because the kids are at school. And some people, like this woman who was crying earlier on, if you didn't see the shot, go and see the shot. She was crying for her children. After a hard shift at work, you come, there is nobody who's going to say, sweetie, how was your shift? You understand? There's nobody who's going to ask you and talk to you, so how was your day? Or who's going to run water for you and all that. At the end of the day, you and your four holes every single day for 1 year. No taking your ntaro or your gown in the morning and chatting with your neighbors while it's just sweeping the yard there. It's depressing. So it is survival of the fittest and the toughest. And if you are failing to survive, it is not the end of the world. You can always plan A, plan B, plan C. You understand? Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. So stop having this headache. What is the UK going to do? What is the UK? Whatever implementations that they put in place, even if they say ILR 15 years, whatever. Plan, exit plan. money plan, business plan. What can I do home? What is making people thrive back home? You will find something. Crying will not help you. A gift from God. You are not married, sis. No, I am not married, Mr. Gift. I chose to be a single mom, despite what they say. You know how it is that society tends to judge you if you choose to be a single mom. But I chose, to me, peace of mind is everything. I'm sorry to say to the person that I was married to, I am sorry to say, marriage, those a couple of years of marriage were not the best years of my life. You understand? And when I looked at those 2 years of my life, 2 years into that marriage, it was fight every day, it was headache every day, it was stress every day, and I was never accepted by the family. You understand? And because I was never accepted by the family, it was a situation. Now I'm diverting. This was supposed to be for a separate video, but anyway, I'll say the story brief. It was that situation whereby, for example, let's say we are being introduced to family members like I am the daughter-in-law, right? I'm supposedly the daughter-in-law, and we're meeting other relatives because we used to work together. How she introduced me to other family members, her relatives. Oh, this one is just somebody that I work with, because we're working together. This is just somebody that I work with. And because we worked together, and they were like, for example, student nurses, she would say to student nurses, oh, I've got 3 sons and all of them are not married, and I think you girls, you can make better daughter-in-laws, all my children are single. And I was married to the son, and so it was a whole complicated relationship, which was, I chose my peace and I left, and I said, I don't care about what people are going to say. I don't care about judgment. Marriage is not necessarily everything. And if it be the will of God, because I believe in God and I believe we all have, God plans our lives for us. If it be the will of God, I will be happily, because that's the important thing, I will be happily married to somebody who loves and appreciates me, who also has a family which is going to what? Love and appreciate me, and not make me feel like I'm a worthless piece of trash. You understand? So, yes, I wanted to be married. Yes, it's not easy to raise children on your own. You understand? It's not easy to raise children on your own. But if you see yourself taking that giant leap of faith to say, you know what? I would rather face judgment. You know what? I would rather struggle with my children. You know what? God will make a way. That's how I just, there wasn't any cheating, any what, but that never being accepted in the family. I was actually called, if you are Ndebele, you understand, like a woman who belongs to the forest or who belongs to the bushes, because you're not part of this family. So because of that, I left, and I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all, because my life has been, I'm blessed. That's all I can say. I am blessed. All right, totally understand. We are with you, sis. I chose that route too. Single mom of 2. It's worth it, sister girl. Yes, because your peace of mind is everything. And in life, they say you've got one life to live, which is a fact, because most of the time people hold on to something which they see that it's not working. Why? Because meaning I'm going to stay for my children, yet you are not happy. You are being abused, you are crying every night, you're having sleepless nights every night and all that, and you say, I'm going to stay for my children. And you know what happens? Your children will grow and leave you. Or you are in a relationship where there is domestic gender-based violence and all that, but you hold on and say, oh, what are people going to say if I leave? Oh, I'm going to face judgment. People will talk until they keep quiet, you understand? But If you just I made an exit plan. United Kingdom was my exit plan. I exited to the United Kingdom, and I've been taking care of my children. If you have seen my children, you will know that they are well taken care of. It's because of the grace of God. God always makes a way, even if they don't seem to be a way. Even if we are talking of the health and care worker visa, and it seems like the future is bleak, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, because God always makes a way. You are not here by mistake. No, nothing happens in life by mistake. You were chosen and you were placed here in the United Kingdom, and him who chose you and put you here in the United Kingdom will not abandon you, always works with you. And when the road gets too heavy, he lifts you up so that he helps you finish the road. So you, as the chosen one, is not the end of the world. Michelle says societal expectations and to fit in as being married, yet you are not happy. That's true. So that's why I said, let me be judged. Judge me, I don't care. But as long as I have my peace of mind, as long as I am happy, as long as I can raise my children in a happy family, yes, it's not going to be easy, but one step at a time you will get there. And the thing is, children grow. If I'm looking at that picture behind me, they were tiny, tiny little babies when I first came with them to UK here. Tiny little babies, you see. But if you look at how much they have grown, they grow. They grow. You understand? Anyway, I digress. Let me see. Thanks, Popo. Yeah, great. So, guys, I've talked and talked and talked. Do you have any questions so far with regards to health and care worker visa? Because I basically wanted to talk of the looming disaster, in case people are not aware of this looming disaster which is going to come if they approve the 15-year ILR, of which, if I'm looking at how the situation is, I highly, not that they cannot do it, I highly doubt that that is going to be sustainable. Understand? So do you have any questions for me before I say bye to you? I've talked and talked and talked. Any link for support work in Northern Ireland? The care company which was hiring in Northern Ireland for care assistants is Ends Home Care. Ends Home Care is the one which has been hiring healthcare assistants in Northern Ireland. And if you are looking for a switch, even Beaumont Care Homes, it has also been hiring healthcare assistants in Northern Ireland. Can you help me to Ireland as a care assistant? I have to, because the company which was hiring at that particular point in time, they took enough candidates for, because usually they say they had many care homes, but usually they say we need this much candidates or we need that much candidates, and then they hire. However, I will actively look for companies which are hiring and offering visa sponsorship. Then I'll come and share videos. I've been focusing on me, guys, for this whole year, and that's why I've been far away from YouTube. But it was and it has been the best decision that I've ever made, because I'm absolutely a better version of myself. I am the happiest that I've ever been in my whole 40 years of life. I'm the happiest that I've ever been. I feel blessed at this point in time, and I'm so happy. So it was really worth it, that a journey of self-care, self-discovery, self-reflection, sitting with yourself and talking to God and rediscovering yourself and loving yourself first before loving anybody else. It has been the best. So I can happily say I'm in a very, very much better place today than I've ever been in my whole entire life. I'm happy. Maybe create weekly lives for sharing business ideas and exit plans if possible. Someone can benefit. Certainly, I'll do that. Certainly, I'll do that. Because I think coming on live, it makes it easier. Because now I get so, when you stay away from something, when I'm now editing videos, because I'll be so tired. I like going to the gym. I go to the gym and I'm tired. and I've been bed editing videos. There are so many videos that I've done and not posted, because let's say it's breaking news like this, I go and edit the video and don't finish, then it's a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's no longer a breaking news, you understand? So maybe coming on lives will help me become more consistent, because I haven't been consistent, and I apologize for that. Please come on live more often. I always look forward to hearing your voice right from Nigeria to UK. Thank you so much, Afri Genius TV. I will come on lives more often. I think that is what is going to be easier for me, because I've been doing a lot now, and I end up not getting enough time. Remember, one, I'm by myself, so the kids, school runs, cooking, gym, washing, ironing, it's all me. And then doing videos and editing videos, it gets a bit much. So I will try coming on lives. So if you don't have any question, guys, I'll just give you a rundown of what I've shared with you today. So what I've basically said is the UK is making the biggest mistake of their lives by proposing that the indefinite leave to remain becomes 15 years, because it means that the carers who came between 2023, 2024, 2025, who are over 150,000, if you combine with their dependents, there are a lot. Let me just say 200,000 carers who came by 2028, because they said they opened their mouths and put it in black and white, and that from 22 July 2028, you will not extend care visa, you will not switch visa, you will not, which means everything will be shut down. And if you don't have your care visa, it means, one, yes, given 60 days to leave the country. Two, you are jobless, you have no job. Three, the healthcare system, United Kingdom, is going to collapse. Four, it's going to be a disaster. Five, do not sit and cry and say, oh, UK is making changes. UK is making changes. Whilst UK is making changes, make changes too. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. You always have to think outside the box. Don't sit and wait for them to make changes for you. If you can, look for an exit strategy. If you are able to look for an exit strategy, look for an exit strategy. If you can be like Sihle, invest in your country. If you can change your circumstances, look at your circumstances. After this video, go and sit down and sit with yourself and ask yourself, do you really need Netflix? Do you really need Spotify? Do you really need that channel that you're Amazon on what? Do you really need all those channels that you are paying? Because yesterday, that's exactly what I did, because I have times where I do that. I unsubscribed to Epidemic Sound. I've been paying Epidemic Sound £15 something, let me just say £16 from 2021, because I use Epidemic Sound music on YouTube. Then I said, but for this past year, I have not done as many videos. And when I calculated the money that I paid Epidemic Sound in a short space of time, it was £2,000. £2,000 on Epidemic Sound, so that I use it for YouTube videos, of which I have not been doing YouTube videos. You understand? So you look, I went through my banking app and looked at my monthly subscriptions. Do I need Disney? I don't even watch TV. Do I need Disney Plus? Unsubscribe. Do I need Netflix? I don't even watch Netflix every night. Then I watch it once in a blue moon. Unsubscribe. Do I need Epidemic Sound? No, I don't need it. Unsubscribe. Do I need Spotify? What's the advantage of subscribing to Spotify? The only advantage is that I don't listen to adverts. Will I die if I listen to adverts? No. Unsubscribe. At the end of the day, you discover that you would have unsubscribed to 5 things which were not necessary, and you have saved £200. Multiply that £200 times 12 months times 3 years. How much money will you have saved when they say in case they say, because you don't know what they're going to say, this is a proposal, in case they say pack yours and go, those little cents that you are spending unnecessarily, they make a huge difference in the long run. Imagine that unsubscribe of 15 pounds of epidemic sound. It means how many loaves of bread can I buy for the month? 8 loaves of bread, and 8 loaves of bread can last me the whole month. So it means I saved 8 loaves of bread by unsubscribing to epidemic sound. So do an overhaul. Look at your accounts, do an overhaul. Look at where you're living. Is it worth paying £1,500 living in a 3-bed apartment when you're single, instead of you going and staying in that one room, because you will not die from living in that one room? You understand? Go and live in that one room and save £900. That £900 that you save in the long run is going to make a difference, because we are planning for our future, and we are saying we are not going to sit and cry. We are going to complain, but complain doing something. Understand? If you are not happy with the situation that you are in, don't only cry, cry and try to change it. You understand? There are so many ways that you can change a situation. Some people are becoming rich on TikTok overnight because they are looking at TikTok, and there's a niche on TikTok. They, oh, let me try and also sell things on TikTok. There are so many exit strategies that you can think of, and I myself will I'll put myself to task and see what strategies we can use, instead of us just crying and crying and crying. We what? We look for strategies. So guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you. I'll just check if there is any 1 or 2 questions. If there are no more questions, then it will be bye from me now. Do you still have one-to-one sessions? Yes, Anna, still have one-to-one sessions. I will link them in the description box after this live. Long time Popo just jumped into your life. Thank you, Melanie. Yes, it's been long. I like your hair. Thank you so much, guys. And if you don't have any questions, let me tell you something, guys. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to my life. If you're coming across my face for the first time, I'm Pauline Popomoyo, and I share content on how you can migrate to overseas without breaking a bank. And I also share my life in the UK, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the bizarre. If it's something that you're interested in, if you haven't subscribed, please do smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so that if I come on live like today, you don't miss any of my videos. And may you please do me a favor and like this video and share this video with those who are in the United Kingdom and are also crying that, oh, indefinite leave to remain, this and that. So they might benefit a thing or two from this video. Please do like the video. It's free to like the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Now I don't know where I'm supposed to end the live. It's been long. Oh, yes.